Welcome back, my friends. It is Unicorn Dust Designs. If you are clicking on my video for the first time, hello, my name is Sammy. On this channel, we do DIYs, wood science, and we always have tons and tons of laughter. Today, we are doing some more Valentine's Day decor. So if that is what you're looking for, then make sure to stick around and watch this video. Let's get into the DIYs. Okay, so we are going to start with a Dollar Tree sign, framed sign. Dollar Tree wood heart cutout, and we are going to take this bad boy apart. Now, I knew I couldn't paint the little MDF part that came out of the frame because it was too messed up. So I decided to grab some scrapbook paper I got from Michael's last year. I'm gonna trace out that inside piece, cut out my scrapbook paper. Again, I got this at Michael's last year. Hopefully they have the same thing. And then because I am going to be adhering something heavy to this, I definitely wanted to attach the paper using Mod Podge versus like a glue stick or a hot glue gun because I wanted to make sure it did not peel off. So now I'm taking my Mod Podge squishy, and this thing is amazing. I'm going to show you right now how it pushes all of that Mod Podge to the top, which would usually cause the bubbles. It's amazing. So now I'm going to take, you guys, this doily is amazing. My subscriber that I've said sent me the previous ones, this was also in the box. Now, I didn't know how to attach this to my sign. So I was like, you know what? Let's try some Mod Podge. So I put a nice not a thin, it was a healthy coat, but I made sure to make sure it was evenly coated. Then I pressed that doily into it, and it was a very thin doily. And you guys, after this dried, it was attached. It was not going anywhere. So then next I'm going to take my wood heart cut out. You guys know. And I am going to paint that the Blush Pink by Rust-Oleum. This is in my Amazon store link. You could also find Rust-Oleum products at your local Walmarts. All right. So now, you guys, I'm always like, oh, this is going to be such an easy DIY. And then I start being extra like this. And this took some time. Okay. So grab your cup of coffee, put on some YouTube while you're doing this, because it took me forever. Okay. But we're going to put a bunch of different size pearls. These are from Dollar Tree, some from my costume jewelry. And then the little holes that were there were driving me crazy. So I got more of my costume jewelry. There were these clear little crystal pieces that came from a broken necklace. And I just put a little hot glue, dropped them in the holes, and oh my gosh, look at this. I wish you could see how sparkly it is, but whew. Okay, now I popped it back in the frame just so I can see the placement. I'm going to take hot glue and I'm going to cover the back, put a nice healthy coat, stick it right in the middle. Now, I did take this frame outside and spray paint it with a cream color, but since it's freezing in Kansas and freezing in my basement because there's no air down here, I had to paint over it because it was sticky. So I got my chiffon paint, I did a coat, then taking my rough sanding block from Dollar Tree, I distressed the outside edges and the inside edges. I just sprayed it with some clear matte spray paint by Rust-Oleum. And then we move on to just popping our heart piece back in there. It already has a hanger for you. And you guys, this is probably my favorite piece I've made out of all the Valentine's Day one. It's just stunning. Look at this. Oh my gosh. And if you see it in person, the sparkles that come off it, that heart doily, it is absolutely the most stunning thing that I've made. And let me know what you think about this piece. All right, my friends, that was the first Valentine's Day DIY. I don't know what it is about this year, but you guys, like last year, I only did 4 Valentine's Day DIY videos because they just like weren't doing well. People didn't seem interested in them. But this year, holy moly, I don't know what it is, but people are searching them out. They're watching them. So I'm going to give y'all what you want, okay? Which is Valentine's Day DIYs. So here we are. If you do want to see more traditional Valentine's Day DIYs, let me know down in the comments with a red heart, that just in case you didn't know what a heart looked like. So I know. And then you guys, I wanted to share that today, yes, I am working with somebody again. I am working with the crafting cousins, Kay and Trish. We have been trying to work together for I don't know how long, but it's like just never lined up for us. And we finally made it work, and I'm very excited to share their channel with you guys. They are seriously the most humble, most thoughtful women ever, and they are so creative, and they have a very unique style that they have stayed true to and consistent with in their entire YouTube journey. And I really think you guys will appreciate them. If you love that community feeling that you get from here, they do lives very often. You know, they're always releasing new content. And I think that they are 2 women that you will thoroughly enjoy watching and getting to know. So I'm going to leave their channel link down in the description box along with the video, and then I will link the video down like at the very end where you could just click on it and go. So you guys, you know the drill. If you're digging me, if you're digging the DIYs, if you're digging the video, then make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. It's an absolutely free way that you can help your girl out here on YouTube. And I mean, like, feel free to share my videos too. I mean, like, I won't mind. I mean, totally okay with me. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and get back into these DIYs. I am having us try something new again. So this is, I know it's plaster of Paris, but I call it Paris of plaster. Anyways, you take 2 parts plaster, 1 part cold water. So for me, I use 2 cups of the plaster, 1 cup of cold water, and I'm just mixing it with the bottom of the paintbrush. But you're going to mix it until you have a nice, smooth consistency. And you want to work right away with it because it will eventually dry out. So I am going to take some fake flowers from Dollar Tree. And I am going to dip these into the Paris of plaster. Now, this is my first time making these, y'all, so it was a lot of trial and error. So I dip the flowers in there. I try to get a pretty healthy coat, and then I twist them to get that excess off. You don't want them drowning in the plaster because then it's literally going to flatten your flower out. So as you can see, I also left the stem, like a nice amount of the stem on so that I could hold it and I don't have to get my hands in there. I will say for the project I was doing, I wish I would have gone with some smaller fake roses just so I could put more of like a bundle on top of my jar versus 1. And next time I want to try hanging them upside down to dry instead of laying them on this wax paper. So this is how they look once they dry, and they dry super fast. And you'll see that flat part is where we laid it on the wax, which, you know, is fine because we are going to lay them on top of jars anyways. But I wish I just would have had either larger tops to my jars or smaller flowers. So taking these jars I got from Dollar Tree during the fall season, I am going to paint this one with Serenity Blue. I also paint one with chiffon and then the blush pink. And then I did spray paint these with some clear matte by Rust-Oleum. I find that it helps the chalk adhere better. There's less chipping and all of that stuff that comes when you put chalk paint onto glass. I am also going to paint the lids with the corresponding colors. And after that, I take my rough sanding block from Dollar Tree and I'm going to hit all of those edges on the glass. Now, I only put 1 coat of chalk paint on here because I liked the streakiness it gave it. That was just my preference, but y'all know you do you. And then we are going to move on to our flowers. So I take the stem off, then cut that little piece off the back. And like I said, they're gonna lay flat on here. I put that on the top. Now see, wouldn't this have looked so pretty with like a cluster of them on here? But we're gonna work with what we got. So next I'm going to take some vintage, these came off of some really old florals from the thrift store, and I'm gonna attach those to the back just to give it, since it's only one rose, I knew I didn't want to leave it like singled like that. So I added these roses and I think they were like the perfect color and like leaf shape for the rose. So I'm going to play around with placement. I'm going to do the same thing for each of my containers. So I'm not going to show you each one. Next, I take some remnants of my lace and my chiffon. I am going to tie a cute, just basic bow around the lid. And then of course, I have to hot glue a pearl in between my little bow loops just for an added touch. And you guys, that is it. Check these out. We're gonna call these Paris flowers, okay? Or you could call them porcelain flowers, but I am so digging these. I love them. I think they are absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to try the plaster of Paris more and more with different flowers. I think it's so pretty. All right, so this one is a frame that I got from a garage sale for 25 cents. If you guys don't go to garage or yard sales, you guys are missing out. I did clean it. Now I am taking my Crackle Medium. This is for chalk paint, and it is in my Amazon store link. I am taking my chip brush, and what you want to do is you want to focus on only putting like one stroke of your brush on the frame. So you don't want to like keep going over it and working it over itself. It does better when you just put one swipe of it on. And then you could either let it air dry, or if you want more of a crackle, you're going to apply your heat to it, which is what I end up doing because I love me some crackle, okay? So you can see right here, apply that heat gun. I am going to set this to the side and just let it like finish up. You don't want it tacky or anything. And we're going to work on our next piece. So taking these grapevine hearts from Dollar Tree, Spanish moss. Y'all, please tell me why I grabbed this plate like it made some kind of difference, because it's still, you could see all over, not the plate, but you know, in my head, I thought I was making my life easier. So I'm going to hot glue the Spanish moss to these grapevine hearts. I'm going to do 3 in total. I am just pressing these down. You want to make sure you get the sides too, because since we are hanging these, the side will show. And don't worry if it doesn't look like a heart right now, because we will fix this. Now, this is the opportunity if you ever wanted to become a hairstylist. Chop, chop, chop away right here. You're going to style this. You are going to trim it down. We want to get that shape back. So make sure you are cutting as close as you can to the heart itself so you really get that heart shape back. Then I take all 3 hearts outside and I do spray paint them with a cream color spray paint, okay? And it worked out great. All right, so now that that's dry, I am taking my pink chalk paint, and again, you only want to try and do like one swipe of your paintbrush over your already crackled frame. If you keep going over the same spot, it's not gonna give you the effect you want. So I'm gonna cover the inside, the outside, and how lucky was I that this frame was already this beautiful turquoise color that we've been working with. Okay, so once that is dry, we're gonna grab our hearts. Look at that color. It is like exactly the color we needed. So I'm tying some chiffon to our hearts. I do play around with the placement. So you'll see I'm gonna attach this to the back just using an old school stapler, nothing fancy. You could even hot glue it. Then I'll tie that chiffon in a knot around the staple to make sure it's not gonna go anywhere. Cut the excess off. Now I'm gonna flip it back over. And again, you need to play with the placement so that you know exactly where to put these. If you hear anybody snoring, Hank is on the bed next to me sleeping. Okay, so as you can see, I'm putting that middle back down, the bottom back down. That way I know exactly where I want my hearts to go. Flip it around, staple it like we did the first one, and then tie it off. And we will do the same thing for the third heart. I think you guys are picking up what I'm putting down by now. All right, now we're gonna take our scraps of tulle of lace. We're gonna wrap it around 4 fingers one time. We're gonna make a fabric bow, a Shabby Chic fabric bow. I'm gonna take some chiffon, tie it around the middle, double knot that. I'm just gonna fluff it out. You just want it messy looking. It doesn't have to be all nice and neat. That's what I love about Shabby Chic. And then we are gonna apply it to the side, and you guys know I'm gonna put a pearl in the middle. I think you guys already know. And look at how pretty this looks. I'll post a picture in my community tab. I ended up styling this with this beautiful mint vintage window on my hall tree, and it looks gurga. All right, so going into our last DIY. So this is from Dollar Tree, the XOXO. I'm going to paint it with our pink chalk paint, of course. Now, a technique, because I'm only going to put this paint on the top part of the sign. I don't do the sides. And people ask sometimes, how do you not get it on the sides? Well, as you can see, when I am painting towards the bottom, I'm taking that paintbrush towards the bottom. When I'm painting towards the top, I take it towards the top. Man, I am horrible at explaining how to paint stuff. All right, so now taking transfers from Dollar Tree. You guys, I love transfers. I think they are such a beautiful way to add some more zhuzh to some projects. So we are only gonna have to use one sheet of the transfer from Dollar Tree. You can use a library card. I mean, anything to smooth these down. I like to smooth them down, and then I like to peel up the paper as I'm doing it. That way, if something is still stuck on our paper, I can place it back down and rub over it some more. Now, with this piece, how I said I just use one sheet for the entire thing, that is because I am just going to take random spots of this transfer and go over different sections of our O and our X's and our O's here. So you'll see, I'm going to break away. I'm going to do like this little piece over here. I put the XOXO somewhere else. So you guys, I get it. You guys are picking up what I'm putting down. So I'm not going to put you through the torture of watching me do this entire thing. But you guys see where I'm going with this. And this could be done with any of the transfers. So I'm going to finish that up. Then we are going to take these pearl sticker thingamajiggers from Dollar Tree. Now, you guys, these are not only adhesive on the bottom, but they are sticky, icky on the top too. So make sure you have a clean work area because everything and anything will stick to this stuff. So I am going to line this entire piece with these pearls. Now it does get harder as you come to these sections where the letters connect, but I promise you can do it. I even did the inside of the O's with the pearls as well, and it just comes out looking so darn stunning. So I hope you guys were able to find these at your Dollar Tree. This is actually one from last year. All right, so after that is done, we are going to take our wreath. You guys, I found 2 of these wreaths at a garage sale for $1 each this summer. We're gonna take pipe cleaners. I just stapled those right on. It doesn't matter if they're black because it is not gonna show at all. And as you guys know, I love me some grapevine wreaths because you can put florals through them. The pipe cleaners, you don't have to use any glue. So I can take this XOXO off after Valentine's Day, put a little wooden, bunny or something on there. Easy peasy. And I just love the way these colors go together. But I just take it through, turn it around, twist up that pipe cleaner, cut the excess off, and we are all done. And you guys, look at how gorgeous this is. I have this on a salvage piece my dad gave me. I have some of my veil swoops in the background with some vintage flowers, a vintage window, some silver bookends. Oh, it just all looks so good put together. I absolutely love it. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. Make sure to check out Crafting Cousins, and I will talk to you soon. Now we change and we film another intro. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. See how I made that work? Oh. I did a black tank top so I could just easily transition. This looks more like Valentine's Day, right? Show you guys the bump. This is what? This will be 19 weeks. So we got a full on baby. I've started to feel him or her move and kick, and it's so cool, especially because like with the first like 2, it was a lot later in the pregnancy, but like, man, this baby is active, especially when I lay down at night. It's so awesome. So you better work. Okay, you guys know I always have a runny nose, just one nostril. I haven't even made these DIYs yet. Don't even know what they're gonna be. You know what I've been, wait, never mind.